Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How was the analysis? Yesterday, I have given you the few task analysis. Have you completed that analysis?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So now let's start with the next point. That is a database. So let me jump to the next slide. Yesterday, we have discussed about software or website analysis. In that particular analysis, we have discussed something like that. We need to finalize the project title, then concept we need to understand, then we need to find out some hidden functionality also. Then we need to list out all these functionality that we have already done, that we have done for the many systems. This is the example of the particular billing system analysis that we have did yesterday. So now let's start with the day 3. So what is our today's goal? What is our today's point of discussion? Here two things we are supposed to discuss. One is a database design, another one is a layout design. Database design in the sense, whatever the functionality we have prepared yesterday, the same things we will use, same functionality we will use it over here, and we will prepare the database. That database can be of MySQL, of SQL Server, of Oracle, anywhere. Just data in the different databases. What is the difference is that only data type differences are there. Remaining structure will be same. So right now we are focusing with MySQL database. So let us jump into the database design first. So from my experience, I can say about some tips regarding the database, that what you should do for a particular database design. First point, that is every table must have one primary key. Primary key is necessary for each and every table. If you are giving primary key to the table, so that you can use edit and delete functionality to the particular table easily. And give the always primary key as a number primary key. Do not give some tags and number combinations primary key. This is just my tips. In real scenarios, you can change this method also. Second point is use all field name as small letters. I suggest to use all these letters as a small letters. Do not use capital and small combined. So I request for the same. Then third point is that table name you should to separate with two different parameters. One XXX, that is a 3 characters of your projects. For example, you are developing a restaurant system, then RES you can write it down. Suppose you are developing billing system, then you can write BIL. This is just my concept, my idea. You can change this with 3 character to 4 character also, or you can remove it also, no issue. Then second part will be always your table name, that is your actual functionality. For example, you are developing for the cart, then between part cart will be there. First part will be Amazon, for example, AMA underscore cart underscore master will be there. In last part, either you have to use master or detail, so that you can easily identify that table is the master table or table is a detail table. In master table we are having only one records, but in case of the detail table we are having multiple records for the one master records. We will see that things practically. Yes, next point. Do not repeat the field name throughout your database. Just for example, you have used CMID, that is a cart master ID. So you are not supposed to use CMID anywhere else in your throughout the database. Why I am suggesting this? Because suppose you repeat the field name whenever you are merging these two tables, that one CID will be returned, second CID will not return. So do not repeat any field name throughout the database, so that your reports can run properly without writing or without giving extra efforts. And last point, do not use underscore in a field name, because underscore is one kind of speed breaker as my point of view, because underscore is something stay at numerical position, that is too much long from shift key. So it is wasting our time. In case of the table name, you have to use that underscore, but in case of field name, you are not supposed to use the underscore. In special cases, you can use it. So this is the database design tips. That tips remain same throughout the particular databases. Now let's implement one particular database. So as we have discussed the yesterday billing system, so I would like to design the database of the billing system, how I can. So for that, I have prepared some tables. That first table is the res underscore customer underscore master. Inside that res underscore customer underscore master, CMID is there. That is obviously customer master ID. That C I have taken from the customer, M I have taken from the master, and ID that I have put up. Then C name, that stands for customer name. C mobile, customer mobile. C email, that is a email address. Why I, yes?
No, sir.
Any questions?
Sir, this is all are the tables.
Yes. Yes, all are the tables for the billing systems. What we did yesterday we have finalized the functionality. Now we are supposed to prepare the database of the same. So I am preparing the database of the billing system. Suppose you like to generate the bill, you need to prepare the database and tables for the particular billing system. So first table is res underscore customer underscore master. That is a CMID, C name, C mobile, C email. Why I have added C over here as a prefix? Any idea?
Customer.
C
For
stands
a customer.
Yes, great. C stands for customer. That is the one point. Second point is that I would like to unique this field throughout my tables. For example, I have the supplier also. In supplier, the name will come. So here I am giving the C name as a customer name. In case of the supplier, I will give S name so that I can distinguish both the field. As in previous slide, I have said that you are not supposed to repeat the field name. So just I am giving the name over here in a customer. What I will give in the supplier, that will be the question mark. So I am giving the C name as in a customer. In supplier, I will give as a S name. So SMID, in supplier master SMID, supplier master ID, supplier name, supplier email address, supplier address. Then more fields you can add: supplier city, supplier pin code, supplier GST number, supplier PAN number, and more details you can add it. Similarly, we need a master table and detail table for the billing. This is too much important. Whenever you are having master table and detail table, you need to keep this thing in a mind, that which one will come up to the master, which one will come up to the detail. Just to take an example, you are buying 2 products from the Amazon, or you are buying 2 products from the stores. What will happen? You are one person. You are buying one. That means you will get one particular bill, but you are getting the 2 products. So in a detail table, bill detail table, 2 entry will be there. But in case of the bill master, only 1 entry will be there. So bill master table, first is the BMID, that will be my primary key, that will be auto incremented number. CMID stands for the customer ID. So you are buying this particular product. So one customer entry will be there in a customer master, that will be reflected to the bill master table. Then bill date will be there. For example, you are buying on 20th May 2020. So that will be the date. Then total amount will be initially 0 because we haven't added yet item into the detail, that is a cart. Then after we will go into the detail table, bill detail ID, that will be the primary key, auto incremented, that will be 1. BMID, that will be the master ID. Whatever the master ID we have created, that will be come up over here. For example, master ID, BMID is a 1, then BMID will be 1. Then it's time for the product ID. Which product you are buying from the Amazon or from the Myntra, from store, that will be come up from the product master table. So in product master table, PMID is there, so that we will come up over here PMID. Then this product, how many quantity you are buying, so we need to specify over here. what is the rate of this particular product. For example, you are buying one particular mobile, so PMID is a 1, quantity will be 1, mobile rate is for example 10,000, total amount will be rate multiplied by quantity, this means 10,000. Now you are having the total amount, so you can update this B total, bill master total to 10,000. Now you are adding one more item to this particular detail table. This will not add into the master because the bill is the only one. So another product will be there. So PMID will be the 2. So this will be the auto incremented next number. This will remain same as the previous one. PMID will 2. Quantity, for example, 2. Now you are buying the 2 items. Rate is just a take up, for example, 5,000. So 5,000 multiplied by 2, that will total 10,000. So previous item 10,000 plus this item 10,000, total will be 20,000. So this is the complete process of bill generation. So any questions? Can you able to understand this concept?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so master and detail funda, that is too much important. Then product is there and customer is there. Supplier master is not I have used right now, but whenever you are using inventory management system, you are buying this product from somewhere, then you can use the supplier master. Even I haven't taken care of the stocks also over here. In case of the product master table, you can prepare for the stocks also. So this concept is clear. So what is our first step? First step is to prepare these kind of database, these kind of structures from our analysis. Okay. So now let me go to the classroom. Let me go to the day 3. So now again we will start with the inventory management. So what you are supposed to do in inventory management, just prepare the database. Where you will prepare the database, just prepare the database into the Notepad++, then just copy paste over here as a comment. I will review it out, then we will change it somewhat, then we will finally submitting. Here one things I haven't mentioned yet, the data types. Data type we will take care whenever we are entering this data into the actual database. This is just a structure we have prepared in a notepad, but this is not actual one. Few changes will be there whenever you are coming to the actual implementations. So that we will consider at that time. Whenever we are going to the PHP MyAdmin, we are creating these tables. At that time, we will discuss it. So now it's your turn to prepare the database of inventory management software. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I am giving you the 10 minutes to prepare the database. For which functionality you have to prepare, that you have already did yesterday. The functionality will remain same. For each functionality, you need to prepare one particular table. Okay, just prepare it and post it as a comment. Yes, you have submitted. Yes, you have submitted this comment. Let me review it out. You have written VEN. VEN stands for? Okay, but we will not use this thing different. VEN, then COS, then PRO, then will. This will remain same throughout the database. This is the database 3 characters. Then
Okay.
in between you have written table. So that table is not exactly table, but that is your functionality. So this is a vendor basically. So your functionality something like INV, that is an inventory INV underscore vendor underscore master. So vendor will be come up in between. Similarly, customer is there. So INV, that is inventory, that will be fixed underscore customer underscore master. Similarly, product underscore master. Then inventory, that will be you have written something like a bill or like this invoice. What is that table? BIL, that is building table. What is the table? BIL underscore table underscore master.
Bill.
Okay, so you need to convert this thing INV underscore bill underscore master. Similarly, INV underscore bill underscore detail. In details, detail table we will write detail only, not S. Okay, just change these things and resubmit it. You understand the concept?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just change it and resubmit it. Okay, you have submitted. Let me review it. Okay, so you change this data. First table is INV underscore vendor underscore master. Okay, VEID. Again, vendor master ID. So we will use VMID. Okay, later on you can change it. Just change into your notepad. Then vendor name, VName, vendor email, vendor address. Perfect. Then customer is there. there is a small corrections in a customer spelling. Just change it in your notepad file. Then change CID into the CMID, customer master ID. Then C name, C email, C address. Then INV payment master, that is a PMID. Change it to the PID to PMID. What will be the P name?
Sorry.
It's not payment, it's a product.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, change it. PMID, P name, P rate, P quantity. Here P quantity is not required, so remove that P quantity. Then bill master ID, BMID, then CMID, then PMID, then bill total, and one more thing is also required, bill date. So add the bill B date over here. Detail, bill detail ID, BD ID, CMID, that is customer ID, PMID product ID. Here we need a quantity. So P quantity, either you can use P quantity or you can use just a quantity, QTY. Then P rate will be there and P amount. In amount, there is a some spelling mistake is there, so change it. And what is the purpose of this last table?
Stock management.
Means what you are thinking,
Availability of
what you are thinking about
availability
this
of
particular table? Okay. So how many
availability of stock.
how many items are available that you would like to specify over here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine. So you have prepared over here two tables. That one ID is SID, that it will be converted into SMID, and S availability. But which product? Which
Each
product?
different kind of products. Each product
Okay.
has an ID.
Okay, so you need to add product ID over here also. Are you getting my points? If you add product ID over here, then you can able to find out the availability. Otherwise, these table are not having product ID, so you cannot able to identify the availability of the particular individual product. So you need to either, there is a two way. One thing is that you can add product ID over here, or else what you can do is you can move this availability field into the product master table itself. So no need of the different table. Just go into the your product master table. This will be your product master table. Inside that thing, just P stock. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So you can directly manage from that thing. So no need of this table. Just remove that tables and P availability. Instead of P availability, use word P stock. Stock in hand. You can use and update it. Update these tables and resubmit.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have submitted the comment. Let me review it. Okay, first thing is the vendor master, a VMID, a VName, email, address, perfect. Then customer master is there, CMID, CName, CMail, C address, then product master, PMID, P name, P rate, P quantity, P stock. Again, P quantity is not required. Remove that quantity field over here. Bill master, BMID. Here is the corrections. We have changed CMID, customer ID to CMID. So we need to reflect this field over here also in a bill master. So CMID will be there. This CID change to CMID. This PID to PMID. Then bill total, bill date. Okay. This will be the bill detail ID, BDID. This is CMID. This is PMID, P rate, P quantity, and P amount or B amount that you can go with, no issue. This is fine. Okay. Change few things and again resubmit it. Database is very difficult task. Okay. Okay. So you have updated this database. So this database is perfectly fine. We will in second phase we will implement the same database into the particular PHP MyAdmin also. So now we are moving to the next database preparations. So go with a bus ticket booking system. Yesterday we have did the analysis of the bus ticket booking system.
Yes, sir.
So prepare the database, complete database of the bus ticket booking systems. Okay, I'm giving you the 10 minutes, 15 minutes for the same. Okay, I will be come back after 15 minutes. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.